Hello, happy Monday. Thank you for being here. So today I want to talk to you a little bit about vision. And it's kind of linked with goal setting. So it kind of follows on from the previous Monday videos that you've potentially watched. Or if you haven't, you want to go back and have a little look at. So today I really want to kind of think about, what would your perfect day look like? Sometimes we get really bogged down with life, especially in January. If you're watching this when it goes out, it's January 2024. And, January is renowned for being kind of a bit of a blue month. You've had all the excitement and the build up towards Christmas. You have Christmas and then it's all gone. And it's cold and it's dark and you got to go back to work. And you're probably skinned because you spent all your money at Christmas. So January can be quite a bit of a blue month. And actually, we can really easily slip into that kind of fed up mode, unmotivated mode, a bit doom and gloom, not really looking to the future with positivity. But you don't have to be like that. The mind is a powerful tool, but at the heart of it is you and the ability to choose, make really good choices about how you live your life, what you do, where you go, who you're with, and what you think, okay? We get a lot of thoughts come into our head in the day, but it's a little bit like sometimes a bit of a jumble sale kind of thought process where things just come in and they're completely irrelevant to the next thing and they're completely irrelevant to the next thing, okay? But sometimes we take notice and then we get hung up on those things that are really quite just irrelevant. They're just a thought that's come in. The thought doesn't have any actual meaning or significance. It's just that our brain receives a lot of information, and sometimes it's nonsense, sometimes it's just irrelevant, sometimes it's a fleeting thought or something that you've seen that your brain just goes, whatever. And then if you take notice of all of those kind of thoughts, sometimes it can kind of pull you down an avenue that you may not want to go, okay? But actually you have the ability through training yourself, training your behaviour towards a thought, your actions towards a thought, to actually change the thought process, to actually change the significance of the thought, to make a choice. Is that true or is it just a thought? Is it true or is it just a thought? Because sometimes, when I suffered with really bad anxiety, I was frightened of everything. I had fear all over the place coming at me. I can't do that because this might happen and this might happen. And we kind of think, okay, fear is kind of inbuilt. It's primeval. It's kind of what keeps us safe. But we don't need to be feeling it when we go to the shop, So it's no longer relevant when we're doing a daily task. But anxiety kind of brings it all to the surface. And you hear all of these fearful thoughts. Oh, I can't go to the shop because this might happen and this might happen. And if you pay attention to those, you probably won't go to the shop because you'll be in fear zone. So, bringing it back to kind of January and our thoughts and our moods, we have the ability to question. We have the ability to make a choice. Do we listen to that thought or do we bat it away? Is it irrelevant? Is it just jumble? Is it kind of just so random? It's nonsensical. And we get a lot of that, Our brains are incredibly complex. Our senses are incredibly complex. We see things, we hear things, we touch things, we feel things. So we sense and we smell things and we sense so much. And when we sense, touch, feel, hear, okay, or see, our neurons have conversations with each other and it pulls on memories and all sorts of things go on in our brain. And our brain is hyperactive all day long. But it doesn't mean every single thought that you have is relevant to your life. It doesn't mean that every single thought that you have is going to serve you well. And it doesn't mean every single thought you had is true, okay? And when you dig into it and you actually say to yourself, oh, if you go back to me, what are you actually scared of going to the shop? And, oh, this might happen. Okay. So if that was to happen, what would you do? Well, I would do this and I would do that and I could do this. And is that within your capability? Yes, it is. So is it worth being fearful when actually if it did happen, you're more than capable of dealing with it? No, probably not. And you can actually kind of eliminate a lot of things if you question, if you are taking notes, but then you question, is it really true? Okay. So this is going somewhere. I'm kind of waffling, but it is going somewhere. So with regards to how you feel, with regards to feeling a bit blue maybe in January, with regards to kind of goal setting, what can you do to flip it around? What can you do to change your January? So, maybe at the moment you have a typical kind of day, and you kind of think, oh God, I've got to get up. It's cold. Oh God, got to go downstairs. Got to put the heating on. What am I going to have for breakfast? Oh, I've got to get the kids sorted. Oh, I've got to get to work, And you get to work and you're like, oh God, I'm at work. It's too cold. I can't be bothered. I'm tired. Not in the mood, So you can imagine a typical day for a lot of people in January. So how can you change that? Can you change your day? Not necessarily. Can you change the way you feel about your day? Absolutely. Okay. So this is something, a bit of a challenge for you to maybe take away and try. It's called the perfect day activity. Okay. Now, the perfect day I'm not talking about a special day, a big event. Okay. A perfect day is really about the typical. So, you know what you have to do. You have to get up. You've got to put the heat on. You've got to get dressed. You've got to do breakfast. You've got to get kids to school. You've got to get to work. You've got to do your job. You've got to come home. You've got to feed yourself and the family. You've got things to do, chores, washing, blah, 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 blah. Okay. So a typical day. Okay. But it's about seeing beyond that. Okay. It's about seeing beyond it and changing the way that you think about it. So rather than thinking, oh God, when is Friday? Oh, it's only Tuesday. Oh my God. Okay. Instead of feeling like that, you can make tweaks and changes and think, do you know what? It's Tuesday. I'm feeling all right. Actually, the kids made me smile this morning. Actually, the heating was lush. Managed to showered and changed without freezing. Actually, the drive to work was really cool because I was listening to my favourite podcast. Actually, work's been quite good today. The boss has been quite good. Nothing major gone on. Really nice. Had a little chit chat in the staff room. And actually, I prepped some food in the morning, so tea's going to be really easy. And actually, we're going to all kind of partake this evening in some household chores, and we'll get it done within an hour. Then we can all sit down and watch Netflix. So you can think of the same day differently if you view the day differently. So what do I mean by that? So perfect day activity challenge is like this. I want you to think about your typical day, but I want you to think about it from a perfect day perspective. So your typical day, how would you love your typical day to actually look and feel? Okay, so I'm going to read you some questions. You might want to get a piece of paper and write down the questions. You might want to have a really good think about what does your perfect day really look like. Okay, so what time do you wake up? How do you wake up? Do you have an alarm? Does your perfect day mean that your partner, if you've got one, gets up before you and makes you a cup of tea? How does your perfect day, in your vision, how does it look? Okay, there's no whole bars here. Okay, as long as your perfect day looks like a typical day, you can dream away. Okay, once you've woken up, what do you do? How do you feel? Do you stretch? oh, and really enjoy that kind of moment of like another day on planet Earth, okay? Do you wake up and if your partner's still in bed, do you like have a little chit chat? What do you do? Do you have a little kiss? And does it feel nice? How does that little conversation feel once you've woken up? Do you get up and do you open the curtains and let the sunshine in? Do you get up and look at all the frost and the ice outside and kind of just give yourself a minute to think, oh, winter wonderland, it looks so pretty, okay? Do you go downstairs and make a lovely cup of tea and sit by the window and look at the garden, and if it is snowing, look at the snow. If it's sunny, look at how everything's starting to wake up, okay? Do you enjoy those little moments, you know, that 1 minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes that you get to have your cup of tea? What do you do next? Do you make breakfast? Do you all sit together? Is everyone kind of awake and chatty and positive? Do the kids make you smile? Do you kind of get enjoyment out of hearing what they're looking forward to do at school today, for example? Do you go and take a shower? And do you use your most luxurious, beautiful products in the shower and once you've got out? And how do they make you feel? How do those beautiful essential oils and amazing products make you feel once you've got out of the shower? Then how are you going to spend your day? Are you at work today? What music are you going to listen to in the car on the way to work? Or if you get in a bus, what are you going to put in your earpods? How is that going to excite you and make you feel motivated and make you feel happy? So by the time you get to work, you're kind of like, yay, I'm here, it's all good, okay? And who do you want to interact with at work? Have you got those really good friends at work that you know that are always going to compliment you and always going to go, oh, good morning, you look lovely, or I love your outfit, I love your shoes? Or have you got friends that are kind of go, oh, I've made you coffee, it's on your desk? You know, who do you want to talk to? Who makes you feel good at being at work? And do they know that they make you feel good? Because compliments work both ways, you know? Who do you want to compliment today? Who else's life do you want to kind of make a little bit better? Who else do you want to make smile? And then where do you want to have your lunch? Do you normally have your lunch at your desk? Or do you go for a little walk? Do you sit in the car? Do you listen to music? Can you change how you enjoy your lunch? Can you make it even better? Can you take yourself out of the office or out of the workplace just for like 10 minutes? Maybe go outside. If it's snowing, you know, have a little look at the snow. If it's sunny, have a kind of 5 minutes in the sunshine, get a bit of vitamin D. You know, can you change that lunchtime experience? Can you make a concerted effort to do something that brings a smile to your face? And maybe even evokes a conversation with somebody else that's also kind of like, I just needed to get outside. I just needed to get some sunlight. Isn't January a tough month? And you could go, oh, yeah, it is. But you know what? I love your shoes. Where did you get your handbag from? You got any holidays booked? And spark a conversation with somebody else. You know, give somebody else a moment of joy. And once you get home, how does home feel on your amazing day? How does it feel? Does it feel different to your original typical day? Do you walk in and have you set the heating to come on? You've prepped the food, so is making dinner a little bit more enjoyable? Do you put on a film? Do you put on some really good music? Do the kids come in? Do you stop and actually talk to them? Do you stop what you're doing and give them your undivided attention just for 10 minutes? How does that feel? Does it feel better for you? Do they respond better to you? And then do you sit down all together at a table, or at least communally sit down together and eat? Do you talk about the food? Do you talk about what foods they love, what you love? Do you think about what foods you could start to reintroduce that you haven't maybe cooked or eaten for a little while? How does the conversation feel? How do they feel? How has their day been? Are there moments of joy? Are there things that they say that just make you laugh, you know? Do they love the fact that you ask them how they are and, you know, what have they done today that's made them feel happy? So you can reframe your perfect day. You can really kind of think about, well, how does my perfect day really look? Write it all down, get it all written down, no holes barred, okay? And then take a few minutes to think, okay, this is my perfect typical day. It's so different to my normal typical day. So therefore, can I actually start to do this? Can I bring some of this vision into reality? And if I can, how am I going to do it? When am I going to do it? And know that if you start to bring that perfect day vision into your new typical days, that everything can change. Because if you can see it and you can believe in it, you can do it. Okay? So I hope that's kind of, it's a bit of a different goal. I hope that goal of really kind of sitting down, thinking through what your perfect day would be, and then having the ability to bring that to reality and change tomorrow, change the weekend, and really start to feel all of the benefits, the better, the healthier, the more positive, the more joyful benefits that you'll get out of seeing your day with a better, more positive mindset, rather than staying stuck in that typical day that you're just counting down to Friday. Okay, so it should feel quite different. And yes, it is absolutely achievable, but it's going to take time. It's going to take time because habits that have been formed take time to then be changed. So be patient with yourself, but I wish you good luck and I'll see you next week.